Okay, I'm live. Yeah, this is gonna be a back and biceps workout. Also gonna do some forearms and probably a couple of exercises. I'm gonna go ahead and get this first warm-up set in and then do like a little intro. Okay, that was some dumbbell rows. It's light enough that it blends in with the calisthenics, and it's a good move because it works each arm independently instead of like all the back movements that work it at the same time, and then you can create imbalances if you don't work it independently. So yeah, ready to get started. Any questions or anything like that? This is good. Questions and comments? Some people walk around like this with their lats flexed. Some people just walk around like that. Yeah, just getting warmed up. Try not to get too much of a fast start. Too much of like an adrenaline rush, fast start. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that bent over dumbbell row. It works the whole posterior chain, the lower back and everything like that. And you rotate. So it goes like this and then rotates. And then you work the whole back like that as well. I have more like the deadlifter's bone structure. And so squatter's bone structure is a little more difficult. They don't normally, they keep it a little more upright and don't bend forward as much, generally speaking. But I guess it doesn't matter too much. Like you just don't let it get to you, and you just try to do the best form you can anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna do back, a lot of pull-ups, and sometimes I start with rows. Sometimes I start with pull-ups. It's kind of like sometimes starting with flat, or sometimes starting with incline. That way, it's kind of more evened out. I guess I start off with pull-ups most of the time. A lot of people start off with pull-downs and pull-ups. So a lot of times it's good to start off with the rowing movements. That's where you get your thickness. I'm pretty pumped up from yesterday. I gotta get this lighting. I gotta fix and get some overhead light. I'm pretty bulked up, pretty pumped up, pretty fluffed up. So yeah, it's good to cardio that off. I do a lot of karate and cardio and stuff like that to whittle it down to where it's more streamlined, more refined, more strength, less mass, more agility and all that. But I guess it's kind of nice being pumped up a little bit too. Yeah, that's one of the big problems with steroids. I was talking about junk volume. Steroid users have a lot of junk mass. It's like mass that's just there and it's like not functional. It's just generic mass. So I put on the mass and then I try to whittle it down. But right now I'm putting it on. Yeah, calisthenics are really good for fat loss. putting in a lot of sets. Then also it's they control your abs a lot more. Control your core. You use your abs a lot with like push-ups and pull-ups, and then I'll show some body weight rows as well. But yeah, you do a lot of sets. Burns a lot of fat. That was a good set. Towards the end, I start using more body English, more momentum and stuff, more swing. And so that it's more like creating power, more like speed and power. And it makes it more difficult. Drags the set on a lot longer. And yeah, just creates more explosiveness and endurance because it's going longer than it should be. You see? Okay. Yeah, I saw those dumbbell rows. I think done by Phil Heath. I think that's the first time I saw them done in like 2009, 2010, something like that. Yeah, it seems like a really basic movement that you should see more of. I guess you don't see as much of it because you can't do as much weight, so I guess it's kind of like an ego trip thing. And then also, like if you're like a really big bodybuilder, the dumbbells would be so big and awkward that it may be more difficult. But the weight is can change a lot depending on how loose your form is. I used to do barbell rows with like 300 pounds. I was using like straps and a belt and everything, and so I can do it and change the form up. Not need anywhere near as much weight. Plus, my cardio wasn't all that great when I was doing that either. You make a good time, 20 minutes in. That's the definition of fat loss, calorie deficit. Yeah, that's basic fat loss. I guess you could burn fat in a calorie surplus if you're putting on muscle. If you're doing cardio and putting on muscle faster than you're losing fat, then you could lose fat in a calorie surplus. But other than that, I think you kind of have to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat. But you can also recompensate, which is like, let's say you're kind of big and fat, and then over time you lose the fat and put on muscle, but your weight might still be staying about the same, but you're losing fat and putting on muscle. So it's like recompensating. That throws a lot of people off. So there's a lot of factors into losing weight and recompensating. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Putting on muscle is a good thing, but also you can kind of be like an overweight person who puts on a lot of muscle and be kind of the same as like an overweight person who has a lot of fat on them. You're still like over your body mass, your doctor's recommended body mass index. So you can still be kind of like overweight and lazy, but muscular. And a lot of bodybuilders and weightlifters fall into that trap. So yeah, it's good to be active, get your blood circulating and all that. And this is kind of like an active workout as well. Doing a lot of sets, a lot of reps, not a whole lot of rest. So I guess I want to clarify that last comment. You can be kind of like overweight and muscular and lazy, which is still better than overweight and fat and lazy. I think I heard an argument from John Meadows that muscle does count. It's harder on your heart because you have to pump through it, whereas fat it doesn't require as much blood circulation. But I think fat is still worse on your cholesterol and all that. But a lot of muscle, it's a good thing. It's just you can get too much of it, but it's a lot harder to do if you're not on steroids or anything like that, because the steroids put a lot of generic, like kind of like non-functional muscle on, which isn't good. But yeah, overweight and muscular and lazy. It's still overweight and fat and lazy, but it's still like a step in the right direction. Like let's say you're way over here, overweight and fat, and you're trying to get to your doctor recommended body mass index and the healthy and fit. We're getting muscular as like a good step in the right direction, and then you just step it up from there. Take things in steps, and stages and steps. So in phases. So I'll do this phase, then that phase. Put on muscle phase, then do a cardio phase, then back to a muscle phase, things like that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do legs early tomorrow. So I guess I don't want to wear my abs out too much. But with the calisthenics, the form can change a lot. And you see a lot of people doing push-ups and pull-ups with short form, which is okay. It's still making progress. But it's also good to do full range as well. But if you can't do like a full push-up or a full pull-up, then like just doing negatives on pull-ups or just like an isometric hold will get you closer to where you want it, closer to the right direction. But there's also a lot of form police and stuff like that, saying you have to have like perfect form on everything, which may not be right. Kind of like book smarts and the practical application smarts. You got a lot of time. More time in between sets because it's just back, so it's a little harder to superset. Yeah, well, I was wanting to talk about that form, and the trend now seems to be um, really strict form and excessive, really big range of motion and really strict form, which can be good, but it's kind of like in a lot of ways an exaggeration. Um, I guess when you first start out, it's probably best to be conservative and play it safe, and yeah, just do like basic A to B form and stuff like that. Then you can play around with it a little bit more as you get more advanced. But yeah, you can have too much range of motion. That can be a bad thing in certain exercises. And then too short of a range of motion just kind of turns into isometrics, um, which can be useful, but um, it can also injure you as well. It can also be a bad thing. So there's a lot to it. So when you first start out, you just do kind of like the recommended range of motion and exercises by like generic professionals and not overly revolutionary scientific professionals. A lot more like generic medical, I guess. Three, four. Yeah, last time I did it with my hand on the brick, like that. This time I'm doing it on the bench. Um, the one on the bench is a little more isolation than the one on the brick. I think I actually had the brick turned down. There's a little more power, a little bit more full body, which makes it where you can do more reps and stuff like that. But I do both. I do all kinds of forms, as long as it doesn't cause injury or anything. It's good to do a lot of different forms, different angles and stuff. That way you're strong everywhere, and you also have more definition everywhere. What do you think? Yes, I guess I've been explaining a lot between sets, um, which can be helpful a lot. I think I used to do a lot more of just let the picture speak for itself. I guess I do a little bit of that too. Um, but I guess while I'm resting anyway, I might as well try to talk a little bit, try to keep it a little entertaining. You got the curl bar in there. It's hard to talk. Um, yeah, I'm gonna set up, probably do couple sets of barbell curl. We're gonna start off with the incline dumbbell curl. I guess a little easier. Some exercises are easier than others. That's why it's like you're kind of like resting, um, doing an easier exercise before you get crank up the intensity again. I think I'm pretty much almost done with back. I'll do a couple sets of incline dumbbell curl, and then probably do another set of underhand pull-ups to mix them together. I'll move the bench around to be better angle. See. Like, oh, game over. Hi. How many sets are you doing? I have to watch the replay. A lot of sets. If you go to a really nice gym, they wipe and clean off the dumbbells and the barbell handles. I think I've only seen that done like once or twice. Yeah, always get the upholstery or something you call that, because if you don't, it'll corrode. It'll corrode if you don't wipe that off. But also the dumbbell handles will rust if you don't wipe those off. I guess I'm not as good as wiping off the dumbbell handles as I am about the upholstery, and I get the floor as well. Yeah, there's an art to not counting reps. You just want to get a couple shy of failure. That way you can pump out a bunch of sets instead of burning out on the first one. But if you're strapped for time or something like that, you can just go ahead and burn out on the first couple sets. But if you extend it, you can last longer and get in more total volume, which is kind of what I'm doing here. But if I'm doing full body, then it's like more efficient to like go ahead and burn out in like the first set or two. That way I can just move on to the next body part. But here I'm just pumping up a lot of volume, and then I'll have to do a lot of cardio and karate and stuff like that to whittle this mass off me. Like samurai sword. I think I said it in an earlier video. It's like you heat it up and pound it, and then put it in cold water, and then take it and heat it up and pound it, and then put it back in cold water. It's kind of like that, putting on mass and taking it off. Then you get something refined and really nice. Yeah, Sunday afternoon is a great time to work out. After church, traditionally, sometime after church. I used to do it a lot when I was a teenager and stuff. A good church, not one that's infiltrated by some far left or far right political radicals. See that a lot. Yeah, I guess I normally kind of like a lot of times rest on Saturday and then go to church on Sunday and work out Sunday afternoon. Just kind of like, I guess, jump the gun or something like that and go ahead and work out Sunday afternoon instead of Monday. Yeah, hard to see. I guess the lighting. Yeah, I feel like I'm hitting the flow. Like I feel like I'm hitting like a second wind or something like that. Like it could go a lot longer. From here. Take a couple breaths right quick, and then do the final set. All right, that's it. I'll do a couple stretches right quick, so show that off. Breathe in and breathe out, real deep. Hands are slipping. Hands are too slick, arms are too pumped. Yeah, you definitely lose flexibility if you've got a lot of muscle on you. I should be able to get it after a cardio workout or something like that, but my arms are so pumped. It's hard to get that stretch. Okay, 1 second, I'll be right back. here. Do a little flexing. You gotta fix that overhead light in the next room. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up right now. But yeah, I should have more definition tomorrow morning. Right now, I should be like tight and full right now. And I'll be more like ripped out and defined tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm just more like pumped up. Ready to go anywhere? Just gotta get the lighting right. So pretty pumped up from yesterday. I felt like pretty sore in the chest and tricep area. Back looking nice and full. I guess I need to probably need to work with a coach or something like that to get on that rear lat spread. That's the video. Thanks for watching, and I should be doing legs probably early tomorrow. Maybe after I had one or maybe even 2 meals. But yeah, that's the video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Should see you tomorrow.